scoundrels! You! Yes, you must help me. Kemel's sacred site of the Tribunal is under attack. The secret underground laboratory of Sothasil himself has been invaded. Overrun. Kemel's, where the magician himself studied among the dwarves, is under attack. The Painted Eye found Kemel's despite all our secrecy. I left Nelthas Drathan to defend Sothasil's laboratory, since he's a clockwork apostle. Mercenaries who steal magical items. Kemel's holds dwarven technology and the magician's experiments. So, you'll find the entrance to Kemel's here. It may be difficult to spot, but the elevator should take you straight into the magician's laboratory. Nelthas Drathan will be there somewhere. Find him and rid the holy site of the Painted Eye.
Don't underestimate that.
Poor factotum. A few missing components and you cease to function. A creature of flesh, but without the sign of the painted. Come here. I assume that fool Thorin sent you. Well, your presence isn't required. I am a clockwork apostle, and I have the situation here well in hand. If you'd be so kind as to vacate the premises, you can reassure. Currently dealing with... I'm activating the dwarven constructs. They're highly effective at frightening off any hostiles who come here. Really, this is standard procedure. Have you faced animunculi? Whatever the Painted Eye are after, I doubt it's valuable enough to drive them to such bravery. Not when murderous dwarven machines spring from... How could you possibly think I'd know something like that? I truly do not have the time for this. Fine. If it means you're less likely to poke your nose in matters where it doesn't belong, then I'll listen to your queries. I didn't replace my flesh out of curiosity. If you're wondering what one of Set's most devoted followers is doing here, I came to study his greatest machine and keep it protected. Flesh is flawed. Why else would Set create a world of that mechanism there? They were built to maintain the Clockwork City. Usually, it's broken. If I had to guess, the damage occurred. I'm locking this door behind me. You can see yourself out.
Alert. Disruption. Danger. Repair construct. Stop the betrayer. Analyzing. Subject unknown. Threat detection unknown. Begin friendly introduction. Greetings. I am Proteus. Cleaning. Burnt fields. Rust. Apostle Nilfar Strathen override. Doors unlocked. Painted Eye hostiles. Outer laboratory compromised. Error. Dreaming. Conclusion. Affirmative. Imperative. Stop. Apostle Nilfar Strathen. Protoss security oversight. Error. Protoss scanning for components. Recipient's cortex. West wing. Cognition cluster. West wing. Self-repair protocols. Accessible. Components required.
In desperation, all things consume one another. Is this a sign of imperfection? Or is this the fundamental truth of creation? Is it
Big mistake.
mortal world?
You're dangerous, huh?
Scanning component location. Components nearby. Insert into Palmar shelf. Recipient's cortex, functional. Cognitive cluster. My form is fully functional, but my memory and connection to the systems here remain fractured. Nilfar Strathen removed the mnemonic fragments which facilitated that connection. We will need to install new ones. Another of Lord Set's early projects. Later he stored his memories in the stars. But in Kemmel Z he was more grounded. They can connect information to the inner workings of the laboratory. Importantly, they are compatible with my form. Affirmative. These are the locations of the major mnemonic fragments. The mnemonic fragments house assembling. The rooms on the...
I've studied countless specimens. None are without flaws, yet all achieve a sort of beauty. Is that it?
It took the creator a long time to differentiate mandatory flaws from those he could improve upon.
Others that live in chaos. They make their choices, give them agency. I know it. Given time, your joints will wear down. Your precision footpads will dent and crumble. But this moment, you are perfection itself.
Self-repair was the only way the creator could circumvent inevitable deterioration.
Time wears you down to nothing. You break, stagnate. How do I keep functioning? You think, you talk, you move, and you have a name. What is you?
The creator left before I could learn the answer to this question. Return to the antechamber. I will meet you there, so we can gain entrance to the inner laboratory.
Laboratory security and oversight protocols restored.
Locating Apostle Milfar Strafen. Dreaming. damp cough. Polished key. Apostle Nilthus Drayton and several unregistered guests approach the Clockwork Probabilis. Intrinsic forces govern events on Nan. Some are constant, like the force which compels objects to fall to the ground, while others defy prediction and categorization. The Probabilis allows for willful manipulation of such forces. It is a prototype, a precursor to Lord Set's great work, the Throne Align. If Apostle Nilfas Drayton activates the Probabilis, Nern will suffer destabilization. Loss of life will far exceed acceptable thresholds. The Painted Eye breach the door to the inner laboratory. They are close to the Clockwork Probabilis, and Apostle Nilfas Drayton is with them. I will use the security measures to hinder them, but we must protect the Probabilis. Through the door Apostle Nilfas Drayton used when we first met. Security oversight protocols becoming available. Searching for Apostle Nilfas Drayton.
Protus, you're active?
Halt, Apostle. You won't reach the Probabilis.
It's what Set wanted.
Your hypothesis is incorrect. This will only result in catastrophic failure.
Too late! The Clockwork Probabilis is mine to control.
We must stop him before his actions cause irreparable damage. We arrived too late. Apostle Nilfas Drayton activated the Probabilis. Stop him before it makes a lasting change.
The Probabilis is active! You think you can stop me now? The likes of you won't stop me! Stop this attack! Why won't you let me fix what you couldn't? What have you done? I was good.
Directive activated. Dreaming.
It works. I knew it would, but combining mnemonic fragments in this way is complicated. The hero who saved Somerset. I knew you'd be the one I'd speak to here. It's not often that one bound by mortality comes to my attention more than once. Most, like Nilfas Drayton, are wisps of smoke in the fires of time. Even Even as a mnemonic fabrication, I know that many will take issue with my work. Nilfast Draythan tried to reconcile his beliefs with reality, and his answers fell short. He left to false conclusions, as he was always going to. I could not, just as he could not stop himself from committing this act. Cause and effect are matters of fact. Now that the Draythan event is concluded, Protus will receive new safeguard directives. When we are through, speak to Protus.
Your work here is complete. I thank you for your service. If you would not mind returning to Thorin Armus, please tell him he is mortal. Mortals can be swayed to endanger the security of Camel Z. I'm sure Thorin Armus will quickly be assigned to another sacred site. Do not fear for Thorin Armus. I will maintain this laboratory without Nilfast Draythan. I cannot say. It may only take a few hours, or it could take a season. It depends on how stubborn they are. But after they are gone, I will begin the locking sequence. Like my creator before me, I will shun the world of mortals. Not me. The creator, so the seal did. My directives must be detailed and precise, as I oversee many systems here in Camel Z. I have one last directive to fulfill before beginning my new duties.
You look like a capable forager. I need some help. Can we talk?
Have you come seeking the wisdom of the forefathers? You are in the correct place.
I can't believe she just threw me out. What am I going to do? Please, I have no one else I can turn to. I need help. I worked as a servant in the towers of Tel Drelloth. Nathan, the son of Mistress Drelloth, is being kept prisoner there. At least, I think he must be. Nathan and I had plans to leave Tel Drelloth together. Someone must have found out, because the day we planned to leave, I was dismissed from my position. Mistress Drelloth, or Sathiel, I suppose, pushed me out without a chance to see Nathan. If she's holding him against his will, he'll be in the isolation tower. The only access is through the lab in the caverns that run underneath. There's a key in the top floor of the main tower. Please, can you help me? I'll pay for your Thank the eight you came along. I had no idea how I would do this on my own. Certainly, I say this with love, but Nathan's not a fighter. He's lived a sheltered life, and Sathiel is a very skilled mage. But he wouldn't fight his mother anyway. Until he met me, he seemed content with heeding Sathiel's every word. I wish I knew. If she were any other Telvanni master, I guess she didn't want her son settling for some low-born servant girl. But nothing like that ever seemed to matter to Sathiel. She was far more focused on her research than her rank anyway. From what I understand, I heard Sathiel used to keep test subjects in the isolation tower. If she's keeping him anywhere, I imagine it has to be there. He spends most of his time on the balcony of the main tower, but he hasn't been out there at all since I left. Would it matter? Nathan deserves to make his own choices, regardless of his mother's wishes. And if she really felt that way, why wouldn't she just make her feelings known instead of throwing me out? I wasn't trying to steal him from her.
Well, that was a waste of time.
There's the main tower, and you can see the isolation tower to the north there. They're not like the towers back home, but they're beautiful in their own way. Good. Nobody's noticed us so far. The key is in that chest. It's a spare for when the researchers misplace theirs. Got it? Let's speak for a moment. All right, we have the key. This is going better than I thought it would. And it's strange. Everything looks so different in here without the ward. Nathan's protective wards. You know, Sathiel's magic barriers that kept Nathan's half of the tower in isolation. I couldn't cross them at all. They certainly made tidying up a bit of a... Sorry. I guess I've been here so long it's become normal to me. Sathiel said the outside world would kill Nathan, and she was working on a cure. But as far as I know, she and her husband... He died years ago, when Nathan was just a baby, from the disease they were trying to cure. Sathiel must be sheltering Nathan for fear of losing him, too. She's doing it out of love. That I can understand. But that doesn't make it right. We'll take the portal pad to the cellar. Then the key will get us into the labs. From there, it's just making our way through the caverns to the isolation tower. As long as we don't cross Sathiel, the others will be too busy to stop us. Good question. I've never known her to be particularly combative, but if Nathan's wards were any indication, she does wield very powerful magic. Which she may use to escort us out. Nathan's well-being is a family affair, and the researchers are far more focused on their work. They're tasked with observing their subjects for the slightest changes, so they won't keep their eyes on us for long, anyway. Test subjects for her experiments. No, and... I don't think I've ever seen it this empty down here. Where is everyone? Wait. What are these subjects doing out of containment? Why are they like this? What has Sathiel done to them? Look around. Maybe there's something here that explains what happened. What's that? It looks like a letter. What did you find? Anything that explains what's happened? Let me see. No, I'd never write such a thing. Did Cecile write this? Does she really think this sounds like me? Spores? The researchers spoke of those. Little seeds on the air, invisible to the eye like flu or fever. I think that's how molds and mushrooms make more of themselves. It sounds familiar. I just can't place where I've heard it before. She mentions these toxic spores interfering with wards. Does that mean Nathan's wards? No. The observation outpost. What happened? Where is everyone? Shay? Thank the 8 you're all right.
Daisha, stranger, you shouldn't be here. Too dangerous. Go no further. Spores nearly killed me. Barely exposed. Natural immunity. I will live. Heard shouting, then screaming. Everyone came running. Big mistake. Mistress Dreloth. She coaxed him back to isolation. Delman, too strong. Stronger than I've ever seen. Delman, Mistress Dreloth's greatest experiment. The cure, the affliction. Delman did this. Trouble breathing. Barely survived. The other researchers, not so lucky. Too late for them.
I'm glad Tunshe is all right. But he's just given us more questions than answers. I know he's one of her most trusted assistants, but if this Delman is one of Cethile's experiments... I know, but... Fetch it all! I just wish I could remember where I've heard it before. Delman. No, that's just the trouble. If Nathan had said or written it, I'd probably remember it exactly. Delman... It's on the tip of my... That must mean the isolation tower. Where Nathan is. Let's keep going. I don't know what we're going to do, but Cecile needs to be stopped. The researchers too? Gods, what has she done? Wait. Do you feel that? It's like we're being watched.
I've tolerated this incursion long enough. Whoever you are, you've fallen for Dacia's fanciful tale. And now you're enabling her dangerous obsession with my son. Nathan made his feelings for Dacia perfectly clear in the letter he wrote. Or was that vital piece of information kept from you? So what if I did? They'd both do well to believe it. They can never be together, do you hear me? Never! Leave this place! Forget all that you've seen, or you'll end up worse than Toonshay. Delman? Where did you hear this name, Delman? Wait, I remember you from old Isra. You stopped Shalreni. You saved us all. But you cannot help here. You will find only monsters ahead. Leave while you still can.
Delman was her husband. That's right. I must have heard it from her once, long ago when she first brought me on. He died from the Nahatan flu. The thing she's trying to cure. I've never seen her like this before. I don't know. Has she gone mad? Was she always this way? If so, she's been hiding it, and I can't blame her. If she were carted off to Gorn, she'd be parted from Nathan. If you mean to heed Cethiel's words and leave, then I'll have to go on alone. Nathan is my whole world.
You cannot fight the danger that lies ahead. This is your last chance. Dacia, turn back, or you may never leave this tower again.
Dacia, stay back! I tried to escape, but she was right. My mother was right about everything.
Nathan, what are you talking about? We're here to rescue you.
Stay back from the ward. Mother says it's already in a weakened state due to the strength of my affliction. I don't recognize you, stranger. What are you doing with Dacia? Rescue? Then she really does love me? There was this note, you see. I was certain it was fake, but then I saw you and, well, I started to wonder. But I cannot leave. If you came through the caverns, you must have seen what I'm capable of. My father, yes. The affliction my mother gave me. She named it after him. I didn't know until I tried escaping. The wards were never for my protection. They kept others safe from me. If I had left with Dacia when we planned, she'd be dead. A living cure. A symbiote that protects its host with toxic spores. I would not be alive without it, and it would not thrive without me. All these years, she really has been trying to cure me so I might live a normal life.
So now you know the truth. I'd kept this secret from Nathan his whole life. That he might not grow up knowing he was a monster of my own making. That he might keep his will to live while I sought a cure. After all, I gave him the Nahatan flu and cured him of that too. Delmin and I were trying to save the world. A promising fungal spore sample was on its way from Black Marsh when Delmin caught the very thing we were trying to cure. And I lost him. I had to know if the spores would have saved him. And now I know. Nathan came from me. I am enough of him that the fungal symbiote does not register me as a separate entity, and therefore not a threat to its host. That is when I named it Delman Mycota. The cure. The truth is a poor cure for love. I did not want Dacia to share my fate of being shackled to tell Dreloff by her own heartstrings, so I tried to drive her away. But since hers is a love that clearly cannot be cured, I have devised a choice for her. If Dacia is willing, I can safely inoculate her with the same spores I used on Nathan. She will share his affliction and his confinement, but they will be together, and she will want for nothing, except perhaps her freedom. Then she can make herself useful and help me find a cure. I'll hire her on again. I need someone dependable to procure rare ingredients to keep testing possible cures for Delman Mycota. Perhaps someday she can be one of my researchers. I've been studying Delman Mycota for over 20 years. If anyone can find a cure, it's me. I'm not about to abandon my life's most important work. There has to be something that can eradicate the fungus once it's disposed of the Nahar. What does it matter if she and Nathan are able to live out their days together? I'd only prioritize curing her. But I am a researcher. I am not above recognizing the benefit of additional subjects with which to compare results. My researchers signed on with me because of my area of study. They knew the dangers of Delman Mycota as well as its potential. All that space in the labs was necessary for safe experimentation. I regret their loss, but they knew the risks. Or, if I had time to think of a more believable lie to tell the both of them. I knew they had been meeting for quite some time. When I overheard their plans to run away together, I had to act quickly, or else risk Dacia's certain death. Of course I did. I was glad for it at first. Dacia brought Nathan happiness. If only they could have remained content being in love, with the wards up between them. It was only when they doubted me that things got dangerous. And now?
Nathan and I could finally be together. But the way to do so means becoming his mother's experiment. But I'd be safe, provided for. I'd get to... Leaving for good is no option for me. My heart is Nathan's and his is mine. If I don't give up my freedom, I can help Sethiel find a cure. I'd get to see the world like I always wanted, but I'd be in her service. And I'd be alone. Life offers no guarantee of love either. But I found that, didn't I? I don't see it as giving up my freedom. I see it as a choice of how I get to show my love. But my heart is split. If my freedom is the price of being with Nathan, then I'll pay it. To be with my love is better than having to wander the world alone. Thank you for keeping me safe, and helping me see the best choice, stranger. Here's your reward.
You're staying? Truly? Are you sure, Dacia?
I fought this hard just to get to you, Nathan. Of course I'm staying.
was a waste of time. No one goes to Salem Mora anymore, and now I can see why. Getting badgered by priests and buoyant armigers isn't worth seeing the one impressive relic they keep at the shrine. Is that where you're headed? The Shrine of St. Voorhees? Patron saint of House Telvanni? It's the only reason why anyone would go to Salem Mora. I stopped by to see the relic of St. Voorhees, but the High Priest wouldn't even let me get close enough to get a good look. I didn't stay long enough to find out. Apparently, it's an honor just to be in its mere presence. Didn't feel like anything special to me. If you're headed that way, maybe you can see what all the fuss is about. Good luck, outsider. You're going to need it.
The talisman of St. Voorhees will be mine, and I'm all yours, Relassie, if you can catch me.
The Lark of Rosgard is so smug when he's got the high ground. He won't be so smug when he's level with my boot. And his little disappearing act. Let me get my hands on him, and I'll make him disappear. That fetching thief has been a thorn in my side for far too long. He's planning to rob the shrine at Salem Mora of the sacred relic of St. Voorhees. I need extra hands if I'm to stop him. Yours could do. Are you looking for work? Stand in for me at the shrine and the Khajiit caravan nearby. Ask questions. Search for any clues or suspicious activity and assure the High Priest that I have everything under control. Help me, and I'll make sure you're compensated. High Priest Treelan will be your point of contact at the shrine. He seems insistent the Khajiit are involved in the heist somehow. I fear the Lark might leave a note for me at the shrine, if he hasn't already. Aggravating little habit of his. Keep it hidden from the High Priest if you can. He already thinks little of me for how I've handled the Khajiit camp. In short, I haven't. They're Bandari peddlers, a group of nomads with a bit of an unsavory reputation for theft. High Priest Treelan thinks they have something to do with the intended theft of the talisman of St. Voorhees. I'm not convinced. A caravan of alleged pickpockets taking blame for the Lark's grand larceny? That's preposterous. And worse, it's unjust. Questioning from an armiger seems unnecessarily hostile. I'm glad to send you in my stead. I've got a plan of my own already in motion. Crucial pieces of it need tending to. But I can tell you more about that when we meet up later. Unless you have more questions, I suggest you be on your way. The Lark of Rosgard is a slippery, pompous, no-good brigand. He plots his exploits and picks his marks to sow misery, reap notoriety, and make my life difficult. I know very little about the relic. You might ask about it up at the shrine. The Talisman of St. Voorhees is exactly what you'd expect. Please. The Lock of Rosgard enlist an accomplice? That fetching glory hound. Meet me here when you're done.
All may bask in the talisman's divine glory. From a respectful distance, please. Excuse me. Please step back from the relic. If you're here to bask in the presence of the Talisman of St. Voorhees, I humbly ask that you do so out of arm's reach. If you have any questions about the relic's history, I'd be more than happy to answer. Shh! Not so loud! This is a very delicate situation. We need to... Of course she did. That's it. I'm sending a priest to shadow her. After Relassi came through to examine the talisman, I've had to stand watch. I've made sure not to let anyone get too close. Especially an Elder Khajiit came by and showed more genuine curiosity for St. Voorhees than any Telvanni that visited the shrine in years. I'm not worried about him, Sarah. I've heard the dangerous ones travel in groups, like that caravan nearby. Mind yourself. I'm so glad you asked. This shrine has stood since the dawn of the Second Era in honor of St. Voorhees the Immolent, patron saint. St. Voorhees believed that we honor our ancestors through the forceful expression of will over others. The gem within the relic exemplified, not stole, claimed in conquest. The shrine is dedicated to exercising our forceful expression of will. We hope to someday unravel the hidden mystical properties held by the gem that elude. Testing one's will on the talisman serves as a humbling reminder that forceful expression of one's will is an unending journey. Most come to visit the crypt. I'd hate to think that's...
Why are we stopping here, when these dark elves lurk about the edges of our camp?
Oh, Shadea, you worry too much. Surely they mean us no harm.
Old fool. What is it you want? Your nose is too close to my face. This one is called Shadea. She and her mercenaries are here only to protect the caravan for coin. This one dislikes this place and will remain no. This one is not in the habit of paying tithes to foreign saints. The elder may have gone, but he insisted others stay at the camp. Fine by this one, so long as she gets paid. Yes, a nosy walker came to spy and ask foolish questions. And Shadea was the only one bothered by this. Then again, the elder and his family are Bandari. They are used to being treated like... Stand a bit closer and find out. This one is quick with her blade and does not hesitate to... Bother someone else if you're looking.
Luck be with you, Walker. This one is Elier Sodro, Caravan Elder. Our wares and coin are in short supply, but our camp is open to all who may seek to rest and be at ease. No. We Bandari are used to scrutiny, but rarely from such a distance. The Dark Elves in these lands seem colder than most. This is no matter. This one extends his warmest welcomes to you instead. The shrine. Oh, that shrine. It is a place holy to dark elves, yes? Of little interest to us Khajiit. This one is late in his years, and ask Shadea. This one thought it sensible to hire protection while crossing a land rife with slavers, and her sharp eyes miss nothing. And you are welcome to ask around our camp, Walker. Make yourself at home among the Bandar. As Bandari are, travels take us wherever the roads may lead us. The roads...
He's here. The locker's in the crypt. He just slipped past. Hurry! The lock can't be too far ahead.
The way that priest tripped all of your protective runes, it's almost like they're working against you, Relasi.
No! Get him!
Is it over? Oh.
Relasi, who's your friend? Are you ever going to introduce us?
Quit running away, and I'll do more than that.
If only those priests had listened to you, Relasi. You know, it's not too late to switch sides.
Shut up! I'm not switching sides! I know that fetcher's here somewhere. Let's see if we can draw him out.
And the talisman is mine! You know, if you leave that replica where it is, the High Priest would be none the wiser. It could be our little secret.
No, no! How did he know? Nobody saw me. How could the Lark have known? He has the talisman. The real talisman. I made a replica of the original. Switched it out without the High Priest knowing. Then, I hid the real one down here to keep it. The High Priest refused my order to take the relic off display. He thinks it's safe, as long as he's watching it. But the Lark could steal stripes off a cat. If I couldn't stop his heist, I thought I could at least trick him into taking a replica. That arrogant swit! And if that foolish priest hadn't prematurely set off my runes, I'd have clipped the Lark's wings and had him dead to rights! Tell me this isn't over. Tell me you found something useful. Something at the Khajiit camp, mate. A story. Great. What reason would this elder have to visit the... Wait. Did you read this? His legend says the relic holds this Eye of Bandar. Fetch it all! I need you to get back to the camp quickly, before the... Keep an eye on that elder. If he's really involved, he may not know the danger he's put himself in. Believe me, even if only one of the Khajiit is conspiring with the Lark, the High Priest will make I'll see to High Priest Treelum. I'll assure him that you're in pursuit of our thief, and everything is... You really think they'd have packed up all those tents and left in the time it took us to get through the crypts? The replica you... Did you... You really think... Go ahead. I'll meet up with you soon.
Walker, help. Please.
I love a good fire. Reminds me of being a kid. Being hungry wasn't so bad when you were warm.
They're still alive in the ruins? Walker, please. Save me. Shadea kept pushing to leave. Elir Sudro insisted we stay. And then he told her everything. The relic, the thief, secrets we swore to keep. He spoke on the ice value to the Bandari, but she heard only the promise of coin. Took them to the ruins. The relic is the price of their lives. Too late for me, Walker. Please, find the lark. Say...
Everything went off without a... Wait. Where is everyone? What happened here? Did you do this? I knew Relasi was desperate to get me, but I never thought she'd... Shadea? Why did he tell her? That old cat is too quick to assume the good in everyone. And perhaps I'm about to make the same mistake, but I'll ask it plainly. Can I count on your help in rescuing my client and his family? You think the Bandari are paying me? They could barely afford to pay their mercenaries. The Lark of Rosgard never leaves a job unfinished. Stealing is so inelegant a word for what I do. I prefer to think of it as reacquisition. And the simple answer is that some things are much better earned than bought. Trust, for example. If I give you the talisman, will I have earned? When we get to the ruins, I need you to barter with Shadea. Do whatever you can to keep her occupied with the talisman. While you do that, I'll do what I do best. It's a gamble. I have some answers. But she was on duty guarding the library of Vivek when she almost caught me reacquiring a rare first edition on behalf of the original author. She took it very personally, and she's been obsessed with catching me ever since. Oh, sure. Within kissing distance every time we've met. The only reason she hasn't yet is luck. Plain and simple. But you'll never see me admitting that to her. Better to leave her thinking I'm at least one step ahead. She's obsessed with my every movement. But I'm the flirty one. Sure. Oh, I wonder if she'll be jealous when she finds out we've been working together. I keep telling her we should run away together. That's probably what she tells herself to keep from saying yes. I met Elir Sudro with a bounty on my head. He could have turned me in for the payout. Instead, he welcomed me into the caravan. And that story of his ancestor tricking Saint... The Bandari believed that favors should be passed on, not repaid. The Lark of Rosgard was... Leave that to the customs of the Bandari. His family wanted to reclaim the Eye just as much as him. I'll meet you at the ruins. Remember to keep Shadea talking as long as possible.
Walker, come no closer or this one will bleed out the Elder. Where is the thief?
Shadea, please. This one is sure that Walker means no harm. We can talk through this, yes?
You should have kept your nose to yourself, Walker. This does not concern you. What? Where did you... It does not matter. Give it to Shadea, now! With so many hands grasping for it, someone must pay well for it, yes? Shadea is losing patience. Toss it over now! What was that? No! Curse you, thief! No! You will pay for this, Walker! Surrender the talisman or the others die!
Please, Walker. Save this one's family. Give her the talisman if you must.
That's Relassi. Follow my lead and play along.
Stop right there!
You've tricked me out of the talisman, but you'll never catch me alive!
Scoundrel! Thief! Pariah, curse you and hound your steps for all. This one is not... This one...
Where are the others? I came as quickly as I could. I'd have been here sooner. But High Priest Treelam kept badgering me with questions. He hasn't even realized his precious relic was replaced with a fake. When I got there, he'd taken it off the pedestal and was clutching it to his chest. While there are lives at stake, I couldn't give a nix. If you can go after them, I'll escort the Elder here safely out of the caverns. Can I?
to the Bandari.
Take the talisman willingly? Face Shadea's blades and suffer.
This one has risked too much.
That was satisfying.
My thanks, Walker.
This one shall pay your favor forward.
Oh, good. I was starting to get worried. The others just passed. She wouldn't. The only person Relassi wants to suffer for this crime is me. And she still needs to catch me. Besides, if the High Priest knew about her little stunt with the replica talisman, she'd be finished, way ahead of you. While you were saving the hostages, I doubled back and managed to steal Relassi's replica off the High Priest personally. Serves him right for not listening to my favorite armiger in the first place. So I could give it to you. Will you honor the patron saint of House Telvanni by restoring his shrine's most beloved spoil of war? Or will you don the mask of the pariah and deliver them the replica? The choice is now yours. For everyone involved to keep their desired reputations, there is no one else I can trust with this decision. It has to be you. I mean, I know what I'd do, but it's in your hands now. As far as Relassi knows, you only have the original talisman. If you give the original to Elier Sudro and the replica to Relassi, she'll have to pretend it's the real thing, or get herself in a whole world of trouble by admitting how she lost it. Then you'll have honored the tribunal and saved the Shrine of St. Voorhees from a fate of worshipping a worthless trinket with no real mystical properties for time immemorial. Or perhaps they'd be doing that either way. Who can say? What they don't know won't hurt them. The Eye of Bandar has been lost for generations, and yet the Bandari kept its legend alive through stories. Is the faith in St. Voorhees so fragile that the loss of one relic would send it crumbling? That question, my friend, would be best asked of Elier Sudro. Though if you've heard the tale of his little ancestor, you may have some understanding of it already. No. See, the important thing here... My reputation wouldn't be half of what it is today without Relassi making me notorious. That's a value. See you around, stranger. And send my fondest farewells to Relassi, will you?
The Walker has returned. 1,000 blessings to you, say. This one mourns those... Ha! So, the fate of the Eye of Bandar falls to you. Walker, this one is at a loss for words. Our caravan will pay forward...
I got my nickname because my eyes reminded people of the warm embers of a fire. I think fire is
Very
much
good,
prettier.
Walker, very good.
Good, you're back. Just as we planned.
The lock got away, but the remaining Khajiit are safe, right? I recognize my handiwork. I'll be a hero returning this to the shrine. It's a false victory, but no one needs to know that besides us. Take your payment. If we meet again, I hope it will be after I've taken the upper hand on the Lark of Rosgard. The Lark got away. I recognize... What happened today was a setback, but the knowledge is my burden to bear. No one needs to learn from it except me. I'll make it right by capturing the Lark of Rosgard next time. I swear it. I'll send a report to my superiors. I'll remain in Salem Mora for a few days, just to make sure it's safe. And then I'll likely be back on the trail of the... Oh, I've always... It's just being furtive. No, I get...
Armiger Relassi, your efforts in returning this relic to our shrine will be noted.
Will never pay off the debt. Yet another creature approaches poor Hezek, this time a mortal. Will you rob me as well? I have nothing. Less than nothing once Madam Wim adds to my debt. They stole a secret! I carried it through this awful, ravening morass to trade at the obscured forum. Madam Wim wants a boon from Hermaeus Mora, but the Void Prowler clan found me, kicked me, then stole the secret. I'll never get it back. just kick me again. I need help. You could help. Mortals lack gold, right? I have some. We'll find the Void Prowlers, and then you'll take the secrets. Maybe keep them back? Then you can keep Ezek safe while we finish my job. I can track the Void Prowlers with my mirror, but I lost it when they chased me. Look around some stairs by the shore, and grab anything that might belong to the thieves. That'll be helpful. That's it. Get walking. I hear mortals require exercise. When required, I don't have much choice. Ezek's debt to Madam Wim is long, and only getting longer. So yes, I carry secrets. Fetch Pete, that's an odd question. How do you carry anything? You put it in your pocket. Or maybe your back if it's a big secret. Several hundred years ago, I hired an in-trunk cart to convey a particularly large secret from Madam Wim. Physical first. I didn't lose it. It was stolen. Anyway, now Ezek relies on mortal help. What's become of me? Mirror, and see if the Void Prowlers dropped anything.
Let's go.
People leave trash everywhere, don't they? See my mirror? Could be a trap. You get it. My mirror! it broken? Why would Void Prowler brutes keep notes? Here's where those thieves ambushed me. Is that cloth? Yes, good. Useful. The mortal keeps Hezek waiting with anticipation. I can stand here forever. You're the one who grows old. But you found my mirror. Mortals are quite skilled at picking up garbage, aren't they? Anyway, this fabric tore off a Void Prowler's tunic. I grabbed for it as I fell. We'll use this to track the thief. It's nothing. Not every piece of detritus you see on the ground is about you. You don't give Hezek orders. But yes, I'll use this cloth and notebook to locate them. Should have guessed. They went to the obscured forum, right where I was headed. I bet they plan to trade the secret for their own boon. That's my job. Head south and you'll find the obscured forum. Hard to miss. Look for the books. We'll catch the Void Prowlers there and take back my secret. The mortal note. One of the thieves! You talked to her.
Great.
Is he a trick?
I told him it was a bad idea. Zaval said he underestimated them. But damn, this state... Our leader pushed us to raid the forum. Quite the bounty, he thought. I told him the Dark Reeves live in there. They'll tear us up. Vicious guards. Crazed. Attack on sight. Unless you're a book. You're with the runt. Last I saw Zaval, he ran deep into the Forum. Have fun with the Dark Reaves if you go in. Now leave me be, mortal. I have dying to do. Not personal. He works for Wim. She has the juicy stuff. About mortals. It was a joke. We don't die. This just hurts. I'm ready for a new body. Not more.
Get in. Now we find that secret. Hezek will let you lead. See here? The intake chamber. Deposit a secret, get a boon. No, no, no! It's too big! We need a plan. Talk with me. The obscured forum is too big! Why can't you summon portals? Hezeks can only fit one person. I don't want to leave you aside. Too dangerous. For you. So we search on foot. Miserable. The longer we wander aimlessly, the more likely a swarm of Dark Reaves tears us apart. This is impossible. I suppose I'll prepare myself for another 1,000 years of serving. Now you're giving me orders? Can Hezek ever make a decision of his own? Yes, of course. Let me do as you wish. Watch for the Dark Reaves. They hide in the dark, naturally.
Anyone else?
Oh, the runs. That's it! He kicked me! Does he have the secret? The secret isn't here. I failed. All the Void Crawlers are dead, stuck in the obscured forum, and the secret's still lost. I'm a failure, mortal! I let Madam Win down! She's gonna add more years to my debt, I mean. You don't understand! Secrets want to hide. They change appearance to blend in. As it bets this one looks like a book now because... Look around! We can't find one secret among all these. No. All I see in it is my pitiful face. Just how Madam Wim must see me. Wait. Hold on. Lost items. Let's see what's useful in a bookstore. Get me a tome shell feather, a glob of mold, red, not green, and, oh right, a quill. Hezek has never had a great memory. Everything I listed. That's the red kind, right? Perfect. should be sharp enough. Don't show feather. Good. I hate those pests. Too cramped. Hezek needs space for the spell. Deeper into the forum we go. I hear the echo of a hall. Should be plenty of space for the spell. Meet Hezek inside. Perfect. My spell will cover a wide area here. Don't dawdle. Bring those reagents here. After so many years, Hezek feels uncertain about this. Do I still have the skill? What if it turns me inside out? Or I fall through a portal into the lap of a Hazakrell? Yes, that's right. And I need to do this. To reduce my debt, of course. I'll need perfect concentration, so don't bother me. While Hezek knows what he's doing, I might not get this right the first time, so you'll need to be patient. I'll call out the location of where I think it is, and you go there and look for it. When you see it, I think I found the secret! Follow the flare! That's not it! The secret is here, though. Maybe. Follow the flare! Somewhere. Go to the next flare. Better be it. I ran out of more. What did Hezek say? I find things. I can't believe you doubted me. Thanks for running around. It wouldn't have... No, you hold on to it. That thing has caused me enough trouble. Madam Wim wants me to deposit that secret at the intake maw. That will purchase her a boon of Mora. I need a moment to recover. Go back to the... Such a troublesome secret. It better be a good one.
A boon for knowledge. Deposit payment for assessment.
Well, do as it says.
Knowledge deposited. Hold for assessment.
No, I do not want to hear Wim's dark secret.
Hezek is my most invaluable servant. Much of my power comes from his skill. Without him, I would be lost.
What? It's supposed to be a secret, not a lie.
Knowledge assessed and found sufficient. Accept this boon of Hermaeus Mora. Move along.
It's truly ridiculous. Meet me outside, mortal. I'm done here. I never want to see another book ever again. So, you have the boon, which means the secret had value. Madam Wynn believes what she said. You helped lowly Hezek, reminding me of my purpose. Even though relying on a mortal embarrasses me, but I'll give you something of mine with great value. Hezek's secret. When my debt to Madam Wynn gets too low, I'll mess up a job on purpose. The Void Prowlers have a clan, yes? I have her. That's it. What she said changes nothing, by the way. Hezek still resents scurrying around when told to. Still, mortal